Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Global Healing Circle again. Finally, we have the full team here because our fourth member, Fotini, has been in Peru studying shamanism. And today we are going to talk about that. But before that, let's just introduce ourselves. Amos, you want to start?
Hi, everyone. My name is Amos Campbell. I am a master healer from Arizona, and my business is Health and Healing Solutions that I run out of beautiful Peoria.
And Christina?
I'm Christina Cece, and I'm a holistic well-being coach. And I help people break through emotional blocks and barriers that keep them from living the life of their dreams. And I work on the mind, body, and the soul level.
And my name is Nora. I'm an energy healer and a spiritual life coach. And my job is here to help you to create the life that you truly want to live by releasing something that needs to go and building up new routines and health stuff that you need on your way towards your dream life. And today, finally, we have also Fotini here. So Fotini, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is, I'm a shamanic practitioner and a Paqo. I will explain later what the Paqo is. I live in Athens, Greece. So we're really global here. So what is a shamanic practitioner? Is someone who practices shamanism. So that would be Peru and South America. Some of the practices also journeying, healing journeying. And the usual elimination and cutting off and letting go of things and helping to replace them with something else. So now a Paqo is the follower of a tradition. A Paqo is a person who follows the tradition from the Inca Empire. So for the Paqos, they are Quero, the tribe that has kept this tradition alive. They are the descendants of the Inca Empire and the priests actually from the higher ranks of the empire. They have kept this knowledge and the secret and the wisdom and the teachings and initiations alive for more than 500 years, since when the Spaniards were there and they were kind of to go from where they lived in order to keep this legacy alive and secret until the world was ready again to receive it back and start working with it and receive the healing and the initiations and all the tools and wisdom. So this is a Paqo, someone who's also a practitioner from this, from Peruvian. And actually in Peru, because a lot of people ask about ayahuasca, ayahuasca is more of earth medicine, but Paqos usually are from the mountains. So they're not using so much herbs or flowers or something else. They're using cuyas, they're using energy. Cuyas are stones, but they come from the mountains. And for them, the mountains are their guardians. They are the, how can I say, the helpers. They're spirits, the mountains, and they have a lot of power. So there is the president, Apo. Howard is the healer. Wamalipa is the keeper of this tradition. It's the teacher, the one who makes this become alive and also to go into other places. There is Mama Simona, which is the feminine, very strong energy Apu that's close to Cusco. She's considered one of the most important Apus in the area of Cusco.
And if you can just go back for our viewers, what exactly is shamanism?
So we know that shaman, the word shaman comes from the Siberian tribe, Tungu. So this is, for them, it's the person who communicates with invisible realms. It's the person who is usually the wisdom keeper, the teacher, the healer, the magician. I don't know if you know the word psychobombos. That's a Greek word, actually. It means the carrier of the souls. So when somebody dies, they take him to the next life that they're gonna, wherever they're gonna go. It might be the doctor. Also, the keeper of the ceremonies, the keeper of the prophecies, can be many roles, actually, can be many roles.
So shaman, the shaman itself is the healer or the person doing the facilitating. And then you have the shamanism is the practice of doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But it's not only a healer, it can be different things. It's not only a healer, shaman, it can be other roles, other jobs that we have. So we would say that for the Paqo, they are the star keepers. So in our Western the way we know the word would be the astrologers, because they are the
Mhm.
ones who know what will come, because they study the stars.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
Yes, it's not actually what has happened from what I saw is that things have just changed names over the years. You still have the healer, but it was called something else. You still have the astrologer, but it was called something else. And all these roles, they keep on the like eternal. They don't really stop. They just change names.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah.
And do you know, is there any other traditions in Peru of shamanism, like different schools of shamanism, or is this Paqo like the one and only that they do there?
No, they have also the doctors of their empire was in Bolivia. So there is a tribe that is very famous for being the doctors. The Paqo would be the priests, actually. They would be the ones who would hold the ceremonies and give the initiation and making dispatches. The oracles would be the people from who were reading leaves, coca leaves. So that would be they would come from the jungle. So different parts of this Inca Empire would be doing different jobs. So I'm not aware of all of them. I know these three that I've told you. So that would be curandero. The other ones would be the doctors, the priests. I know there's also black magic there. I know there's also other things. And this is what I remember so far.
Okay. And how about this Paqo tradition? First of all, how did you encounter it? What led you there on this path?
Okay, so in 2007, my dad died. So I had a kind of personal crisis that was going through. And I went to a psychologist, which is the first thing that I think we all might be doing when we enter this path. And so she told me, she was quite open into things. So she told me, you look like you have a Mayan spiritual guide or something like that. I didn't really pay attention into that. I thought, okay, nice. Yeah, but it wasn't really talking to me as I was going through my emotional thing. And in 2012, I received the Munaiki rites, not in Athens, somewhere else. And in these Munaiki rites, it's exactly what I was describing, that everybody gets the initiation, the garpai, the seeds for all these roles. So we can become the earth keepers, the star keepers, the day keepers, the wisdom keepers, the creator, that we are creating our world, the healer's right. So there were different kinds of rites. And since then, I have been growing and feeding these seeds and growing to one role and then the other and then the next, until that brought me to the medicine wheel program. So I did this 4 times. I received 4 times the Munaiki rites. There's also Nustakarpai, which is the initiations of the feminine. I have received this also 5 times. And now I'm doing the Paqo path. It's called the 3 paths. I'm doing it for the third time now. And I think I'm still learning, actually, after all these years. I'm still learning about things.
Yeah, it's never ending. I think that's the journey of discovering the self as well. It's just this never ending journey, of expansiveness.
Yeah.
Healing is one of the largest branches of all the things we can learn. Like every culture has had healing in every time period. Like there's earth healing, star healing, every type of healing we can imagine. So that's why we need, like right now we have such a circle. There's 4 of us on all different parts of the globe, because this is one of the biggest subjects in history is healing.
Definitely. So how about Fotini? How was your trip? Can you tell what happened there? So you went there, you stayed, and what did you encounter, and share it all? I'm interested.
Were you called there? Were you called to go to Peru, or was this part of the path?
I think it comes both as a calling and as part of getting trained into this. The Paqos there, and especially the Alto Mesa yokes. The Alto Mesa yokes are the people who are being taught by spirit. If you ask them to train you, they would say, come over, come here. Why? Because there is no written language. So you have to go and see. what are they doing? Notice, take notes, and then ask questions. And then it's more practical. It's not about in the mind, it's more about doing. And it's a direct experience.
How long were you there?
There's no instructions into you have to do this, because like when they're making this, before we receive the initiations during our journey, we were always offering a despacho. So a despacho is an offering that has quintus, 3 coca leaves, might have some flowers, it might have some wine or sugar, different elements depending on what we're doing and where we were. And the initiation was something that was very nice. So we'll talk about healing. And initiation can be so strong that it can really come through like this, and you're not going to be the same person again after the initiation. This is one of the strongest things that I have tried. I don't know, you have received initiations from your traditions?
Yes.
Okay. Some are very smooth and easy, and some are very deep and strong and intense. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't sleep for 3 nights and I had light bulbs pop in my bathroom. Yes, it was very intense.
Okay. I had the same, not for all of the initiation, but for some initiations it was very nice. What I like about this tradition is that we were doing everything outside. There was nothing to be done inside the house. Everything was out in the mountains, in the lakes, in the rivers. Like the Nustakarpai is into a natural environment. There's some rocks, there's a small spring and a small river. And we're standing underneath the rock, inside the rock actually, and we were giving the initiation. Or when we went to Asoncate, which is like the president mountain of this tradition, we did the offering, and then we were connecting with the mountain to give us its initiation. It was magic also into these things. It was very interesting. It was very nice because we walked every day. We were walking for about 1.5 hours to get where we were supposed to go to get the initiation, to make the despacho. So we would go through very nice scenery and all this connection with nature and everything around. It was so refreshing and so calming, and being in the body and also doing spiritual work and energetic. It was very nice. It was I think that after all this COVID thing, that we were closed in our house, going out for such a long time, for 20 days, every day going out, was like, yes, this is what I really like. I like going out. I like being in nature, around whatever trees, whatever the land was there, whatever that was there. This is what I really liked about this journey.
Wow, wonderful. Sounds like you were in a very different place for what people think what the world is at the moment, like with their cell phones and with their everyday stuff. You were in the essence being there. Cool. I wanted to ask, because Amos, you are also a shaman.
Yes, my master was actually trained as a Peruvian shaman underneath the Four Winds Society many years ago, and I received a couple of the rites, but it was laid out a little bit of a different way, just because everything did get changed over the years. Every time period, every culture, they had their own name for everything. So my tradition was not directly like Fotini's, but everything that she's saying, there is a complete parallel. There's a complete similarity all the way through. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that healing is universal, and the spirits are universal. Your ancestors are universal. So all you have to do is be open to it and be willing to receive the message, and you'll be very surprised at what will come through.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So can you give a little bit of information about the stars? I'm really intrigued with that. Did you experience anything? Did you sleep out in the nature? Did you have any interaction with the stars?
We didn't do any initiation. We have done a lot of initiation we have received. So that would be like the three words, the Waira, Pachamama initiation, father-son initiation, Nusta. Nusta is the feminine. I don't remember all the initiations. There were about 10, 11 initiation in all these days. There is a star, Keeper of the Stars initiation. From my experience for this time would be that when we were in the Kero village in 5,000 meters high, we did ask for the carers to give us the Chaskakuna initiation. This is how they called, but they didn't do it because it was not. There were clouds at that night. What I found over the years is that there is a star vision quest that you can do to find your own star, and also to give you a vision quest, so something that it is personally for you. The way that somebody would do this is by sitting outside alone in a place where you would connect with the stars directly during the night, and ask to be guided, and ask to be given, ask to be shown. Okay, what is it? Which is my star? And once we connect with this, then what does it have to give? What am I supposed to do? What do you want to tell me? What is the message? What is your information for me? And then be open and receive whatever it is to receive. Sometimes it might be strange into what might come, but just follow it. You never know. It will get you somewhere.
Yeah, there's when I relate it to other people, I say that the language of the universe is in symbols. If God were to speak to someone, depending on what time period you are, it'd be a different language. So symbolism is the universal language, numbers, symbolism. So a lightning bolt is a lightning bolt is a lightning bolt through all of history. The star represents basically the same thing through all of history. So your images may be very weird. As an artist, don't lean into the weird always. And go with what the symbols. Don't be afraid of the symbols. That's what I'm saying. Because it is going to be weird.
I would also say ask for clarification. So if you don't understand, ask to be given more information so that it makes sense to me. Okay, so mine usually don't come in Greek, even though I am Greek, but it comes in English. I don't know why. Maybe because English is universal at this time. It's a language we can all communicate into this.
And I think shamanism isn't something that is only in Peru. I think everywhere there has always been shamanistic traditions. Like I even know that we have had in the past like very strong shamanistic culture in Lapland of Finland. And like really like our own, like for example, I don't know what is the mushroom that is red and it has the white dots that is very poisonous, that they did actually feed those to reindeer, and then they drank the pee of the reindeer to get high, so they could get some answers. Because the reindeer could take the toxins away, but the effective, what is it, silo, what is it called?
Silo.
Yeah,
those ones, they were still like in there. So I think in every culture, we always have had this idea of getting knowledge, getting deeper knowledge, either with plants or without plants. Like it's very fascinating. Yeah. And I know that there is still this tradition going on in somehow in Finland, but I don't know so well.
The meditation part is, shamans are usually the ones who started meditation, and that's how they would get their messages, is you have to open yourself up and give yourself some time to receive the messages, and then usually work that from sitting out in the stars on the top of the mountain in the middle of the ley lines, what I call primal magic. But that's what came first. There was only the sun, the moon, the stars, and whatever nature from wherever they were on the planet. That's primal. That's original. What I call first magic. And then things slid down the line as we got more and more cultured, as we got more and more tools. But this was our first tool. I think it comes from the very first thing we ever developed, and that's cooperation. Someone cares enough to provide a space to bring whatever is needed. And then some answers are hopefully going to be found, and some solutions will be brought for the next person to come. It's a spot.
Yeah. Definitely. So how about you two shamans that we have here? in this conversation, what do you think is the biggest gift that shamanism has given to you personally in your life?
More openness, more connectedness, and it's given me more of a dialogue to help other people understand it, find it, and feel it. Because not everyone has that affinity off the top. And I was lucky enough to have that.
I'm thinking about the thing that I like more is that they're always in the here and now. It's not about past lives. It's not about, it's about here and now. It's like being grounded, being in the here and now, being in the community, taking care, doing things, how do you say, giving birth to things also for us women, because it's not only the biological, it's also other things that we might be giving birth. And definitely some kind of inner power and inner belief and faith, something like that. To go on, to find a different meaning, to continue in a different way and being in a different way and connecting with nature.
Beautiful.
Do you have any experiences with helping clients that you'd like to share, stories of healing, stories of transformation with using some of these practices, either Amos, Fotini?
The biggest, most common practice is soul retrieval in my case, but it's a very rare practice. I've been doing this now 17 years and it's only ever been, I've only done it twice. These were for this was extreme emotional and mental, and in 2 cases, physical abuse that had been carried over a decade, and some energy because the event was so traumatic and the people were so young. A piece of energy leaves to go to a safe house, if you will. And those of us who are trained can go to those places and safely return that energy back to them and help them integrate it, reintegrate that piece. It's typically called the soul retrieval. I've had the pleasure of doing it twice. It's rather complicated. It's a lengthy, full discussion in itself. But afterwards, the change in the people was a 180. And it goes to show how much what happens when we have a wound that is so deep, it's almost like walking around with a hole in your cheek. Like you could eat, and the stuff just spills out. You're not getting any nutrients because there's this huge energetic leak. So now all of a sudden you've plugged it up, sealed it up, and now the Hoover Dam works beautifully. That's the sort of the gross oversimplification, because that's its own unique practice, energy, and how we view energy as the subject of wholeness.
I've been practicing what Amos has been describing also. So the Paqos have a slightly different version. They do in one session, in 1 hour, they do cleansing, empowering, and soul retrieval. And I had a client, I think in June, she comes for this. It's called Hambakuya. This is the name of this healing session. And she came, and that was her 3rd. You cannot do it more than once per month because it gets a lot of energy. So you need to settle down first and then move into the next. So this person comes, and I think it was her 2nd or her 3rd session. And she sends me a message. She goes after the session. She's really feeling very happy. So she calls me. She sent me a message after a few days, and she said, this feeling that I had when I left the session is still alive now. And it has been going on for about a month, 2 months after. And actually, her brother had died about a few months ago. And I was wondering, okay, your brother died, but you're still happy. And I'm going, okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but okay, if you're happy, I'm happy that it works. And there are other people, when I do the healing journey for them, and actually I'm guiding them to go there, I'm waiting for them to say, this is, yes, now I understand what is going on. This is what it really hits them. This is what I'm waiting to hear from them in the healing journey. To get this, okay, and then I know that, yes, they got it, they really got it, they know what this is about. They know they can get out of there now and move on into their life.
What is the healing journey exactly? I know I've done a shamanic journey where they take you to the underworld and bring you back up to the higher realms. Is that something similar? Can you explain that?
A shamanic healing journey, the way I do it, is what you have done in the underworld, but there are many rooms that you visit and you get different kind of healing. So that would be sound healing, light healing, huchamihui, healing the ancestor, if it involves some kind of ancestor, healing the previous lifetime, healing from the moonlight, which is very nice. Almost all women, when we go there, say, oh, this is very nice, this is magical. Healing with the archangels and the energy of the archangels. So there are different kinds of healing that you get through instead of doing it. What I like is being more holistic, put them all in one session. The person will receive the healing and then they will come out really changed and really received a lot of different things. And this is going to help them move on more smoothly rather than go down and then up and down and then up.
Yeah, and I actually had a session with the Fotini, and it was really amazing. I highly recommend everyone to try it. We had it online and it worked perfectly. And the different rooms, they really have different energy. And the guides that were coming there to show us the way was like, I know that they were actually there. They were not my imagination or anything. It was very, very powerful. And I still remember like some of the rooms, like very vividly how they were or what I encountered there. For example, I met this beautiful dragon that wanted to fly, and like it was really crazy. Yeah. How is it in Peru for average people? Do they actually ask help from shamans? Because here, at least in Finland, and I suppose also in Greece and USA, it's more about the hippie stuff to go and look for a healer and not a doctor. But what is the standing point of the normal population there? Do they really have this tradition still going on?
I think that one of the issues that they have over there is that the young people are not following these paths anymore, and they're not getting the healing tools and the wisdom and the teachings. I don't know, maybe there's something else going on. I think that some people go to doctors and they do follow. I don't remember seeing many psychologists. I don't remember seeing something like that. I know doctors are there. There is a place though, Wasau is supposed to be the center of it's the city of black magic, where we know that when we do energy work, we can use it both for good and for bad, to harm or to help someone. So that's always an issue.
Which is the city called? What is the name of the city?
Wasau.
I don't know.
No, it's outside of Cusco. I think only if you go there, you will hear about this. Like, we don't know that.
Yeah, because I have been in Peru. I was there for 4 weeks and I was traveling in the Cusco area, and I went to the Titicaca Lake and all this stuff, but I didn't hear about that place. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, good for me.
Good for you. I think half and half. I think it's going a little bit down, but I feel that it's actually spreading around. It might be going down into their country, but it's actually spreading around all over the world. So more and more people come in contact with their tradition. What Amos is doing is it comes from there. So I think this is what the standard, the pattern would go. It will expand rather outside of the country rather than in the country.
Yeah. What is this? Do you know anything about this black magic? I have understood that it's quite a strong culture in the South American countries, that people really tend to seek love spells and hurting spells and this kind of. So have you encountered anyone who would be suffering of those spells? Have you taken any of those spells away from people?
In my healing, so you mean when
for example. Yeah.
From what I know in Cusco, from what I heard, is that yes, it's going on. It's still going. Let's say the example would be that you would choose to do white magic to improve the herd of your sheep, so you can have more sheep instead of hurting the other person. That would be the point of doing this. In my healings, there was a lady about 2 or 3 weeks ago that I did a session, and yes, she had something, and it was taken off. And the strange thing it was that I was also involved in the previous life into this. So I came up in my life in this, and as I was clearing something that somebody else had done to me in a previous lifetime, and then I got the message that I should also clear the ones that I might have done in someone else. And that was the first time that I said, okay, I think that it's time as a healer to face any possible things that I might have done to somebody else without knowing. So that came up, so I cleaned it. And I cleaned it for the three of us, for me, for the other person, and for the third person that was coming also. So it's like trying to bring a balance into everything and trying to be like in good relationship with everything.
And no one wants to carry any karma anymore. We should be getting rid of it at this time of the evolution of the Gaia.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point. What is the belief system in shamanism or in the practices that you do, or the lineage that you take on for past lives or previous lifetimes? Or what is the belief system in that?
The pack, they don't believe in previous lifetimes. They don't deal with it, actually. It's all about the here and now. They do honor the ancestors, they do honor the land and all the natural elements, but they don't care about what has been going on at that time. It's only here and now, here in this. Pachamama for them means time, space, female. So they don't have this. But in my practice, I have come up a lot of times with past life issues. Amos, you have also?
Yes. So it's just experienced a little bit differently here. Like in the States, I do a lot of hex breaking. There's a lot of people who live in a lot of close quarters with a lot of different people, and people just don't know what they're doing a lot of times. A lot of my people who like drive across the city, who go through like heavy traffic, will get here and they will feel all this other stuff, but they're really bad drivers. And every time they cut someone off, someone will say a little hex or a little curse word that goes out, and they come and they're like covered in porcupine quills is what it looks like to me. So we got to shave all that stuff off. The energy is just a little bit different, I would have to say. As far as past lives, the subject, my master was trained by your tradition because that's the way it was said, so that everything in the past leads to now. So what are you going to do about it now? We might have a lesson that might come up. There might be a memory that might come up, but I was always taught to not deal with those types of lifetimes because one, it's over, and B, it's too much information. Like you're already holding a lifetime's worth of information in your cells. And that lifetime, A, is old, but to cram a whole lifetime's worth of information into a vessel that's already holding a lifetime's worth of information, it just doesn't work really well. So we can do essentially clearing work if what you're experiencing, you've had a lesson, like you've had a memory of something small is left over, we can clear that away. But I've personally not delved into past lives. The reincarnation subject is really interesting. I encourage everyone to read My Spiritual Journey by the Dalai Lama and to hear it directly from him. He describes his reincarnation journey very descriptively and very explicitly, and how that essentially spell is done. It's all in the first 4 chapters of the Dalai Lama's book, My Spiritual Journey. I highly recommend that. So I have essentially retro-engineered that, and I help people whose loved ones have just passed within the 40-day window. But essentially, my school of thought comes from the Tibetan Book of the Dead and the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is more or less helping the people left behind process a life without this person, and to essentially, in a healthy way, let them go to wherever is to go next. So I have a little bit more limited experience just because everything I learned was from everywhere. If I went into every tradition and took it, I took everything from everybody. So my method is a huge mishmash of everybody else's methods, essentially. So that's why mine's just a little bit different.
Yeah, I have the same. I'm mixing a lot of methods. And also, I think that while I'm healing, I'm always learning more. So I'm getting like I have this repetition of 3 clients coming to me with the same issue. So they are making sure I understand something. And then after that, when I understand that, then comes other 3 clients with the same issue. So the universe is teaching. But the past lives, they sometimes come through also in my healings. And usually it is an energy, like you said, that it's something left in the past life that needs to be removed. We don't bring in the whole life and be like, oh yeah, you were a woman and you had 5 children and blah blah blah. No, it's more okay, you had this issue in your past life, you didn't solve it, so let's clear that energy and let it go, so you don't have any karmic bonds anymore in that life. And that's how I see it. Also, we should concentrate on the now, but sometimes we have to clean the past a little bit.
I relate it to veterans who've carried shrapnel from their past life. When the veteran was in active duty, that's their own life. They're in the soldier's life at that point. Something happened and they healed, but they came back, but there's still a piece in there. And every so often it'll shift around or move. And sometimes it's in a right place where it can be extracted. That's how I relate it to people. Sometimes we carry pieces from a previous something. That just to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, and it's all what your body can release in that moment. Your energy body is ready to release.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Christine, I cut you.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was going to say that I look at it more as, because there is no time and space outside of this 3D realm, that it is parallel. Like we're actually tapping into other parallel lives rather than past, future, and we can go to future just as well as we can go to the past in our eyes in the 3D, seeing it as the past and the future, but it's all happening all at once.
Yep. So what are we going to do about it now? That's the key factor. And that's the beautiful point, because it gives you the choice. And I think that's really what we need, because a lot of times when something happened to us, it usually wasn't our choice. To our healing issues, I usually would not have chosen most of these things, but out of necessity, things happen.
Yeah, definitely. But we are nearing the time limit that we have set for these meetings. So any last words of wisdoms about healing or shamanism that you want to share? Let's go around. Amos, you want to start?
For today's last words, I just want everyone to take a beautiful 4 count of breath in and a 4 count out. That's my word for the day.
Perfect. Fotini?
I would say find your kuya. Find your a stone that really, I don't know, it touches you, it speaks to you, and then take it in your left hand and just be with it and see what does it want to tell you. What's the message? Connect with the land, connect with the power of Pachamama, of the land, and see what the message comes. Don Americo Yabar, he's teaching Salka, which is a kind of shamanism. He says that stones are the Evangelia. Do you know Evangelia? Okay, of Pachamama. The books that we read. The books,
the holy books, like of Marcus, of Lucas, and
exactly. Yeah. So Pachamama has kuyas as Evangelia that we can read them and receive different messages every day. You really like that. It was very poetic the way he said it.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I think it's just really getting out in nature. I'm in Washington State right now, and I've been hiking every day, and it really does shift something within you, that connection, and it's real. It's just being outside and walking in amongst the trees, feeling the grass. I could smell the cedar and the balsam and it was just the sweet and the dried leaves, and just all of your senses brings you to the connection of this earth. And it's beautiful.
Yes, and I have to agree with all of you. And I couldn't say it better. You already said it, so I only am going to say, and subscribe and tell your friends about this channel. Enjoy your day and much love.
Bye. Thank you.